Hey y'all, it's me, your favorite teacher. I know I left y'all hanging yesterday. It was not my plan to be out, but unfortunately, I am out again today. As you can probably tell, the person inside of our classroom is not me. So I'm going to teach today's lesson from the comfort of my home. That way, there's no confusion, and it's not going to be as difficult as it was yesterday because yesterday, y'all had to kind of like watch videos and figure it out yourself. If you are still confused on the double number line, I will reteach it when I come back on Monday. But we're still just going to move on to our next game plan, which was tape diagrams. So you should have two papers in front of you. You should have two papers in front of you. If you read my instructions on Google Classroom, you should have this one, and then you should have this one right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the front of both pages, and then you're going to do the back of both pages by yourself. Okay, so I'm going to say that one more time. We're going to do the front of both pages together, and then you're going to do the back of both pages by yourself. So that way you can see me do it, see kind of like how I want you to do it, and then y'all can have some practice. Now, the good thing about me not being there and you watching a video is you can pause me whenever you need to and rewind in case you need me to repeat something. So here we go. So we're going to be solving ratios using a tape diagram. This is what a tape diagram looks like. You have probably seen tape diagrams in the past, like in third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, maybe even second grade. You probably use them a lot with like multiplying or adding and subtracting. We're going to be using them with ratios, and it's honestly a lot less complicated than it looks, I promise. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and dive in, and we're going to do number one here. So number one says for every 5 calendars that Austin sold, Laura sold 4. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and underline. So for every 5 that Austin sold, Laura sold 4. So that right there is already going to be my ratio. So our ratio is going to be 5 to 4. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to label, I'm going to put A equals 5 and L equals 4. Because Austin sold 5 and Laura sold 4. So then it says Austin sold 45 calendars last month. How many calendars did Laura sell? So to figure that out, we're going to use a tape diagram. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to rewrite an A and an L. So A for Laura, A for Austin, L for Laura. And there's 2 different ways you can draw a tape diagram. One way is like this, and you just draw the number. You can draw boxes for the number that represents Austin. So 5 represents Austin. So I'm going to draw 5, at least I'm going to try, boxes. This is a struggle. That is not a box, y'all. What is that, Soda? And then 4 for Laura. Okay. So to figure out how many Laura sold, we know that all of this equals 45. So I know that all of Austin's boxes in his tape diagram are like, if you put all of them together, they equal 45. So to figure out how much is in each box for all of them, we're going to do 45 divided by 5. And the reason why we're doing divided by 5 is because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So whenever we do 45 divided by 5, we get 9. So that means that each box is worth 9. So I'm going to just write 9 in all of our boxes. So now to figure out how many calendars Laura sold, because that is our question, I'm just going to do 9 times, because the 9 is in the box, and then the number of boxes that represent Laura. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to do 9 times 4, which equals 36. So our answer is 36 calendars. Ta-da! All right, let's do another one. Number 2, and also I'm sorry if y'all see my protein powder container. I couldn't find anything to put my phone on. All right, so number 2 says, for every 3 cars that Kelly sells, so that's important information, Jane sells 4. So our ratio for this would be 3 to 4. So I'm just going to write K equals 3 and J equals 4 because it says that Kelly sells 3 cars and Jane sells 4. Jane sold 32 cars last month. How many cars did Kelly sell? So we're going to solve this the same exact way. So I'm going to write K and J. And here's another way you can draw a tape diagram. You can literally just draw one long rectangle and then just cut it into pieces. So K is 3, 1, 2. So I have 1, 2, 3 pieces. And then J is 4. So 1, 2, 3. So we have 4 pieces. So yeah, these are the 2 different ways you can do a tape diagram. This one is personally my favorite because obviously I can't draw regular squares. All right, moving on. So they tell us that Jane sold 32 cars. So we know that all of this equals 32. So all of these boxes together equal 32. To figure out how much each box is worth, we're going to do 32 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4. And using your brain, because you should not have to use your calculator, 32 divided by 4 is 8. So that means we're going to fill each little rectangle with 8. So now the question asks, how many cars did Kelly sell? So to figure out how many cars Kelly sold, we're just going to use her tape diagram, and we're going to do 8, because that's the number in the boxes, times the number of boxes, which is 3. And then 8 times 3 is 24. So the answer is 24 cars. So I'm gonna pause real quick and talk to you about this. So whenever it comes to these problems, make sure that you're not accidentally doing 8 times 8 times 8 because it's just being repeated addition. So I just do 8 times 3. You could do 8 plus 8 plus 8, but do not get confused with that because I know a lot of people got confused with that last year. Just know you're gonna just multiply the number by the number of boxes, okay? All right, let's do number 3. Number 3 says the ratio of boys to girls who participated in the pie eating contest was 7 to 2. So I have B for boys, G for girls. Since the ratio is 7 to 2 and it's boys to girls, boys equals 7 and girls equals 2. Because remember in last week's lesson, the order matters. So the order you read it, you read the words, is the order you're going to read the ratio. So now it says there were 35 boys. How many girls participated? So I'm going to relabel and do my tape diagrams. Boys are 7. This is going to be small for some reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then girls are 2. So again, they're saying that all of this will equal 35. So to figure out how much each square equals, we're going to do 35 divided by 7. And then 35 divided by 7 is 5. So that means each box is worth 5. So now it asks how many girls participated. So to figure out how many girls participated, we're just going to do 5 times 2, because 5 is in the box and there's 2 boxes, which equals 10. So the answer is 10 girls. All right, and then the last one I'm going to do with y'all. And remember, you can pause, rewind how many times as you need to help you with the problems on the back. And the problems on the back are just like these. So we have the ratio of the length of Grace's string to the length of Peter's string is 5 to 6. So I'm going to label G for Grace and P for Peter. So since it says 5 to 6 and we read the ratio as Grace to Peter, Grace equals 5 and Peter equals 6. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my tape diagram. So G and P. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not even, but it'll do the job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes you just need to double check. So it says Peter's string measures 60 inches. So they're saying that all of this equals 60. So to figure out how much each square is worth and to help us figure out how long Grace's string is, we're going to do 60 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which equals 10. So that means each box is worth 10. So to figure out how many girls, no, wrong problem, sorry. To figure out how long Grace's string is, we're just going to do 10 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you do that, you get 50 inches. And that is our answer. So these type of tape diagram problems are a lot easier because they tell you how much one person is, and then you just divide and fill in the boxes. The paper that we're about to do next is a little bit more complicated, so make sure you pay extra attention on that one. But remember, to help you on the back, feel free to just rewind, or while you're taking these notes, you could have paused and just continued working, whatever really floats your boat. If you still have some questions about it, just kind of make like a mental note, and come Monday, just let me know, like, Miss Soto, I still kind of struggled with the tape diagram. All right, see y'all with the next paper.